We here.
Back that Sade.
Yeah, we back at
That's it
it.
right there.
This
That's
Saturday,
that old school.
is it a crime? Come on, we are here. What's going on, girl? Hey, man.
What's up, Larry?
It's your boy LPC, founder of Talk Ministries, man. We back at it. They got me going crazy, man. God is stepping in and blessing me. Do you not hear me? Man, I don't know, should I say New York, Charlotte, North Carolina, what, Miss Serenity in the building. Whatever y'all talking Serenity, man. Yeah, y'all keep it up. Oh man, y'all please, man, y'all like, y'all share, man. Check out me on Instagram, my Facebook page, man Talk Ministry on my YouTube channel. Hey man, y'all please like, share. Tell your daughters, tell your daughter's boyfriend, your husbands, your ex-husbands, baby daddies, baby mamas, your bad son, man. Tell everybody. Tell the person that snitched on you. Come on. Tell the person you don't like it, they don't like you. Come on. But man, I'm telling you, man. Oh man, this is great.
Well, this is very good. I'm just trying to make sure the phone is on vibrate. Go ahead.
Yeah, handle your business. We got 45 minutes to maybe 50, so I can get on with my fellas. Shout out to the STPF. What up, fellas? But yeah, tonight we're gonna talk about depression. We're gonna talk about suicide. We're gonna talk about love, and when we go through love, we just don't understand it because things happen and there's no confirmation. So Serena, I'm gonna give you the platform. Just tell people where you're from. But before we get started, where are you from? Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Rochester, New York.
Okay, start right there. Have I ever met you a day in my life? Have I ever physically met you?
No.
You were just a Facebook friend.
Facebook friend who and then you turned into my bling customer.
Yes, I got 5,000 friends, and I don't know half of them. And I saw that you was doing shoes, bling shoes. So I called you up. You had your number, and I called you up, and I asked you what you do. Me and my wife shoes for our wedding. Sent me the invoice, sent me the price. Boom, I paid you. You shipped me my shoes, and we had a happy wedding. It turned out fine. So happened. I'm here, man. Talk Ministry. Some things we got to get out. We connect and relate on some other issues. So come on, man. Talk to the world, man. It's all yours, baby. Go ahead.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about mental health. For those who don't know, I lost my brother in 2014 to suicide by way of firearm. And a lot of things that we don't realize when people are going through challenges is that they don't talk about it. And that was one of the things that I didn't know or I didn't realize was as serious as it was in his life, in his mind at the time. Depression, whatever, the complete opposite of what we thought. Because, it'd be the ones who are strongest in public, put up a front that they got everything together. They work out, they're funny, they're the life of the party. They're doing good, they have good jobs and stuff like that. Money and things. Sometimes those are the ones that are suffering the most. And you don't realize, and I think it's because they put extra pressure on themselves. But mental health, I feel it's a very, very common, depression is a very common thing, and a lot of people suffer from it. I suffered from it. I was diagnosed in 2012, but I refused to be on medication. I wanted to fight through it on my own, and I just tried to attack things that triggered the depression, rather than counting on medication, because sometimes when you get on that medication, you can't come off of it. it's hard to come off, So I wanted to be natural with it as possible and fight through it on my own. So, but I see that it seems like now more than ever, I think the older we get, the more we start to realize and notice about our lives. It's very common. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, trauma, things like that. It's like, I feel like when you get to a certain age, it's like everything hits you at one time.
Yes.
You sitting there and you looking at, what have I done with my life? Or where am I supposed to go next? Either you were in a relationship, the relationship didn't work out, you just knew it was going to last. And it's like you're sitting here in your late 30s, your 40s, even your 50s, and the people have this fear of starting over.
Yes.
It's really a fear of starting over.
Yeah, and in your mind, you're saying, I should have already had this thing figured out.
Already.
Yeah. You say when, you know what I'm saying? And we just don't know when. And when you talk about depression, what took you, how did you slip off into that? When did you feel that you was having issues? What triggered that? What do you think just slipped you off into depression state of mind?
I've been obese majority of my life. So I was a very big person. I was 300 something pounds at that time. I actually got bigger after that. But I took a job. It was a promotion, and I went into management. So I went from being a certain level where I had friends, your coworkers and stuff, to being in a more professional setting in a whole different place. And I could not be friends with anyone there. And then my colleagues who were other managers, they were already married and older and all that stuff. So couldn't really relate with them and stuff like that. So I found myself being by myself a lot, and then I put a lot of pressure on myself to be the best that I could be as a manager at the place. So I invested a lot of my time, a lot of my mental, a lot of my energy and things like that. And it was draining me and I wasn't realizing it. And then, being disliked, you go from being a liked person to being disliked because you're in a higher branch now, more responsibilities, holding people accountable, things like that. And then it was like, I didn't realize how much,
how much weight you was carrying. People, how much weight you was carrying.
Yeah. And then people not liking you when you're doing your job, because there's pressure on you to do your job. So it's like you're handing it down. So anyways, so it got to the point where I already ate a lot anyway, but it just got worse. The value meals was 2 sandwiches, a dessert, a drink, things like that. I just overate, and then I would go home and just eat that and just throw it on the floor. At the time, throw it on the floor and roll over and go to sleep. And it just built up, and I could not figure out what was going on with me. And then it got to the point where I wasn't happy anymore, and I just could not figure out what it was, and it got to the point where I was like, I gotta go see somebody, because I had no energy to do nothing. I did not want to clean my house. Now, this is when I was living in Concord. I did not want to clean my house. I didn't want to do laundry. Laundry would be 2-3 garbage bags.
I moved from New York to North Carolina at this point.
I was already in North Carolina. Yeah, I was diagnosed in 2012. So I was living in North Carolina.
And for the people, I want, because depression, and people do it different. You did not come from a broken home or dysfunctional home like maybe someone else. Your parents, your mom and father still married. They've been married, what, 40, 50 years?
52, I believe. They just had an anniversary June 15th.
Shout out to mom and dad. 52 years. What God do, we do it. What we do? Come on. So my point is, depression hit us all different.
Yeah.
Depression hit us all different because I can recall losing my friend Bernard Hobson. So and Bernard starts and I never forget it. I had drove trucks, got out of trucking, and then I got in the car business. 2009, got in the car business, took a break off the road because there was just a lot of wear and tear over the road. And I got into the car business, did extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got into trucks, ended up buying his truck, and we had went through our Mason Lodge together, our Shrine of Temple together. And that was my brother, like, that was my friend. Like, we would, like, we each other our dark secrets. And I only have two friends like that. Shout out to my homeboy, Barry French, West Angry, man. Yeah, it's only two guys that really have my darkest secrets. It'd be those two. And he bought a truck, got me back in trucking, and ended up buying my truck, operated, got my own authority, and we was rolling. And I never forget it. I was in Jackson, Tennessee, saw him there on the yard, and he said, "Hey, Wisconsin National football team," and he just got to the hospital. And he said, "Man, I had fluid on me, around my lung, everything, or whatever." And he said, "Man, I bought some Popeyes. I'm just gonna throw it away." He said, "What, man?" He said, "Me and my son, we gonna start working out, gonna lose weight. You know, we gonna do right. You know, because he wasn't eating healthy. You know what I'm saying? He had stopped drinking, he had stopped smoking. You know, I would encourage him. That was my partner. I was encouraging him. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't, big, great big man. He was stocky. He was solid. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he was dealing with. It was the fluid and the high blood pressure. And he said, when I get to Wisconsin, I'll get you up. Well, I was on my way to Utah. I got to Utah, and I was like, man, but no, I never called me back. You know what I'm saying? Never called me back. And then what happened, his cousin reached out to me. He called me. He said, "Hey, man, Larry, I know you and Bernard real close, real tight, but they found dead in the truck." You know what I'm saying? That was a mess on. So I was whole pressure. Like, I cried, man. I was just crying. I locked myself in the house. I disconnected myself from people because I was my best friend. You know, I just saw him. And he was a good dude. You know, he was an amazing, phenomenal man. You know, like, that was my friend. You know what I'm saying? Because when I say friend, my definition of friends is different from a whole lot of people's definition of friend. If you're my friend, we'll have disagreements, but it's no backbiting. Like, it's locked. You know what I'm saying? It's locked. We gonna bump ahead here and there, but it's locked. It's friends. I don't care if I get mad at him or he. I'm not gonna tell his business. If he got mad and I wronged him, he's not gonna tell my business. But yeah, so I can kind of relate a little bit, man. Like, I lost my mind, and not only that, my sister, she got herself caught in the situation. I had my mom, my sister, both incarcerated at the time. I almost lost my mind, and I just had to pray and cry, a lot of crying, and thank God. I said I had the accident in 2018. Man, that changed my life because I met my wife, and she brought me to a church that I connected with. So yeah, so come on, keep on, let's roll with it. I'm ready now.
Yep. So, but yeah, it's real, man. It's very common. It's more popular than we realize, and I think with us recently going through this whole COVID thing, like, I think it's brought out a lot in people. It's caused people to have to sit down more, and not people aren't really used to the ones who have constantly been busy working, moving. COVID caused some people to have to sit down and slow down. So it's caused people to have to go within and reflect and be like, well, what's going on in my life? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Because a lot of people now have to go back into the office and don't want to do it. They've been working from home. They've gotten accustomed to being at home, being in their own circle.
Yes.
Yeah. Being in their own circle, not being bothered with nobody, but maybe the hubby or the wife or the kids if they have any, and the pets. And now you got to go into this office with people who, I don't want to be there. So now everybody is feeding off of everybody else's energy all over again. So whatever type of peace of mind you were able to accumulate during this time, it's all shattered again. But in this downtime, it's caused people to have to really sit and look at their life And unfortunately for the black cultures and things like that, and I did research, like a lot of us weren't prepared for a pandemic like this. So it's either we didn't have the savings in our account to provide for this, to be able to sit down if we lost our jobs, or if we got sick or got caught the virus or something like that, we didn't have the coverage, the insurance coverage, and then it's like people are trying to find jobs and stuff like that. So it was harder on us, you know.
Yeah, and that's true. But what COVID taught me, who really in control? Because even though we didn't have and I can only speak from a personal. Even though when you didn't think you had them finances, when you didn't think you had that job, when you didn't think you could get that bill paid, when you didn't think you were just gonna just flat out survive if you got, when you didn't think you were gonna survive when y'all was in the house together and she cussing you out and you cussing her out and she leaving. God stepped in and we here, man, because
Yep.
I keep saying that because we are here. We have gotten so used to. I'm tired of giving COVID credit.
Mm-hmm. But I will tell you the reason why I brought that. The reason why I brought that up is, because when it comes to suicide and mental health and suicide, the white race is the one that basically leads the pack in that. The ages of 50, between 50 and 70, right? But during COVID time, the black people, the suicide increased for us because of the pressure. I'm not saying all of us,
Yes.
but I'm just saying that it increased. Suicide increased. The depression increased for us. The anxiety increased for us. Things like that increased for us during COVID and stuff like that. So that's the only reason why I brought that up like that. But yeah, so it plays anything is a trigger. It could be anything. And believe it or not, people don't realize that your history, your history, not just you living like right now, but your past history of your family, your ancestors, things like that. Yeah. Whatever carried down from generation to generation and generation, that's still embedded in you. Yeah. So you have to be the one to break that somehow. You know what I'm saying? You have to be the one to break that somehow. We are carrying a lot of our past with us. Like I said, not just from what we living in, you're 40 or whatever, I'm 40, not from just our 40, but we're carrying the burden of everyone that came before us. And we gotta break that tie somehow, some way, shape, or form. And and we are big on not wanting to talk about our issues. We may call our homeboy or our homegirl, but like seeing a therapist and things like that, a lot of times we don't feel like there's anything wrong with us, or we can do it on our own. But a lot of times
the first step, you're saying, you know what? Hey, I need some help. If you can just get up, pray that God just get you up. If you can just get up and say, man, I need some help, and that right there is the most important step, because let me show y'all how God works, man. I'm finna go here now. Let me show. This is men, women, children. Y'all listen to this. Let me show y'all how God works. I did a live with Slender Roberts. I want to say yesterday. I want to say Monday, and I was contemplating about who I'm targeting. Will women click on this? Will men click on this? Will they hear? Will they just try to somehow and let's try to help each other and build a community for real? And I was like, okay, cool. God kept speaking to me. Man taught me, man. He just kept talking to me, because the women start coming on. But I'm gonna show you. See, sometimes when you just sit back and ask God to speak to you, you got to be patient and wait for him to speak to you, because I was getting information here, I was getting information over here on the left side and the right side. So I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I was hearing what God was saying to me, but it's people that done this. And I'm like, man, I know my vision is, what God told me, figure this thing out. Let me tell y'all what happened. I was sitting at home. I get a phone call from Charlotte, North Carolina. I started not to answer. And it was a gentleman. Shout out to Roger. Come on, man. Praise God. Thank you. And he said, "Hey, man, you the CEO, you the founder of ManTlkmin Ministry." I'm like, yeah. He said, "Okay, tell me a little bit about your ministry." And I went on and told him, why I'm doing it and the reason why I get on, and I'm pressed. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, this is a 45, 46-year-old man. I'm 40. I'm young. I'm younger than he is. Mm-hmm. But see, the experience, the lives that you live, and the experience, it's live in effect. And I told him about it. He said, "Well, man, my wife gave me your number." I mean, like, oh Lord, the devil done stepped in, somebody's husband, something from my past and came and got me. So something finna disrupt me. Something to get in the way. And that man said, yeah, man, me and my wife, we separated. He said she gave your number to me by text because she wouldn't talk to me. And he said, man, I got everything a man could possibly want. I got business, I'm over groups, I'm connected with millionaires, man. He said, man, my wife sent me this. My wife listened to you. Sometimes, God, you don't have to quote all these scriptures and dress up and drive the Cadillacs, man. Women are looking for men to start saying, baby, I could get better, baby. Let me talk to somebody. Let me do what is he doing that I'm not doing? And that man poured out his business to me. His business. When I was confused on what to do with, am I reaching the women? I know I'm reaching the women over here, but I want to get some men. It's for everybody, but man, I'm waiting on my brothers and they ain't. And I'm confused. I'm asking everybody. And God say, don't listen to nobody. Listen to me. I'm finna send somebody. Here you go. You just need one man. And I thank God that Roger called me. Shout out to his wife, ma'am. He told me your name. Supposed to be texting me your name. Thank you. I'm not saying I'm no pastor. I'm not saying I can help your husband. But the things your husband has done, I've done it. I walked it. We talked. He talked. I used to be that type of guy. And for him to call me as a man and to tell me his business, God will bring them here. We just got to get the courage and stand up, man. I'm going to tell you something, man. When that young man talk, and I told him I was going to send him the links to come on my guys. My guys going to hear this, but I want to surprise them because I want them to hear. This man don't even know me. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. His wife told him about me. This man called me a grown man and said, man, I need and talk to me, man. I need to help. So when he did that, man, I'm diving in. That's my brother for life. I want to build this community up.
But see, this
is not, man. Come on, man.
See that's God, the thing. That's the point that people miss. Is especially for men, is you have to have an open mind. You know what I mean? In order to be able to receive what's being told you. Women too, because we're guilty of it too. But you have to have an open mind and be willing, because a lot of times I really truly believe our relationships that we're in do not have to be as bad as they are. They don't have to be.
Come on.
A lot of us,
Come on.
a lot of us have been sent blessings through people. You understand what I'm saying? You've had a blessing come in your life. You've had a guardian angel come in your life. You've gotten what you've asked for and prayed for. But because you didn't know how to treat the person, okay, you didn't know how to treat the person. But now that you got the person, learn how to do it. That's all about breaking those ancestral ties.
He wasn't ready.
Break those ties.
But that's what
That's what you wanted. This is what you wanted. Okay, I'm giving you what you wanted. She's giving you what you wanted. He's giving you what you wanted. Okay. Now, damn it, take it, and bless the person back. Because you may not. I'm gonna tell you.
And that's real. But
go ahead.
Come on.
Come on.
He's right there. Come on with it.
I'm gonna tell you. When you you see how I adjusted? Okay. So let me tell you. When you know for a fact.
Come on.
When you know for a fact that you've been the best person you could possibly be to someone, okay? And that person hasn't really given you much, or is giving you the bare minimum, okay? The one thing I can say from what I've seen from others, and what I've witnessed myself, is I see that when you had sometimes the best of the best come in your life, you may not have that opportunity again. And if you do get it, it's going to be years down the line, and you're going to be sitting there like, well, why isn't my Prince Charming here or my queen here? And then you start sitting there reminiscing about what you had, you know? So it's like the person that was taken advantage of or wasn't respected enough or whatever, she or he is always going to be able to do better than you, because you gave him or her the bare minimum. But you may not be able to do better than that person.
And we've been to talk about that. So since you done went on, when you just slipped into the old relationship, you didn't straighten in your tail. So come on, tell the world. We ain't gonna put on that. We ain't gonna be like that. But we talked. We talked, and you had told me you had been into a 2-year relationship.
One thing about y'all, if y'all don't know about Larry you just can't have just a little small conversation with Larry. If anybody been on the phone with Larry, you mess around and be on the phone for 2, 3, and 4 hours. We have spoken literally on the phone today 2, 3 hours, and then talked again, and then it was like, let's go ahead and do this live. There is no small talk with Larry.
You have to get it out because she's talking to me. She's talking to me, and keep in mind, I'm going to Charlotte, North Carolina, because Serenity is teaming up and hosting a suicidal mental health bike ride, man. So yeah, give it up, man. So y'all come out and support, and all go wild, baby. Hey, I know y'all gonna be deep in the building, Roger. Hey, I'm depending on you. Hey, we gonna be there. We gonna link up. We gonna take pictures. Cause man, me and Roger, that's my brother for life. But back to this. Let's get into the conversation, because see, this is what I want to give some people. I want you to talk how you felt, and I want to give you my input on how the growth, because I once was something that I am now, and I'm still growing because I'm still learning. And that's why I want to continue to reach out to me and then say, man, hit me up, call me, man. If you don't want to go live, bro, I'll shut it off. If you don't want to talk, you know what I'm saying? Tell me what you want to ask you, and then we'll go from there. This is not nothing to be embarrassed. I want to build a community because, man, I'm going to be talking to y'all. I need y'all to keep me on my square. We're sharpening the community. I want to build a community. You see what I'm saying? So there's people out there that deal with stuff and they went through things. Just because you got money and everything going good, or you come from a good family, man, depression is real. We walk around with a mask. But when a mask comes on, because see, we'll keep hiding, but see, God something expose you, let you see me, so you got to call on me. So come on, let's talk about your relationships and how you felt as a woman. And I'm gonna try to coach you through that thing, and then we're gonna touch on why is suicide so important to you. We got about 20 more minutes. We're gonna try to wrap it on up because it was just a pop on. But sometimes pop ons to get so we can get to the get go. So come on, go ahead and touch on the two relationships that's really kind of.
I've had a couple here. A couple of relationships, and things like that. Some one thing, like I was saying to you earlier, when I go into a relationship or a situation or a friendship or whatever it is, I never judge that person based off of what I've experienced in my past. Meaning, if I dealt with someone who was a cheater, I'm not going to automatically put you in that category of being a cheater, right? Or if I was abused and beat on or whatever from someone in the past, I'm not going to automatically put you in that category, right? Instead, I judge you based off of how you treat me at this point in time. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to look through your phone and this and that, blah, 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 because this is what I went through in my past. No. I do everything based off of where we are right now. So I'm a free spirited when it comes to that. I'm very open-minded, and I give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes more than I should. But that's me. I'm just a caring person. A lot of times I can see through. A lot of times people can see your potential better than you can. And sometimes we're taught to not base a relationship off of. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead and finish.
Oh, yeah, the screen was freezing. So yeah, so I just, I've gotten into situations where I poured my heart or did more than I would do for, the average person and things like that, because I felt, there was some type of connection or things like that, and then I've been left in the wind. I've been left hanging, I've been treated or spoken to a certain way, or, just done wrong. And, and I'm sitting here like, well, I don't understand, because I gave you what I felt was deserving, and, depending on who you're dealing with. And that's why you guys everybody needs to be careful out there, exactly the type of person that you're dealing with. If you know for a fact that you're not ready for a person who is together, who is okay, who has their shoulders on right, because you don't know what that person has been through to get to where they are now, to be able to be strong and to carry on through life. And then someone who comes in who has no good intentions can take you and try to bring you back down. That can cause someone to have a breakdown. And sometimes those breakdowns don't be good. That breakdown can cause that person hurting you physically, hurting themselves, or whatever the case is. So it's like, if you're not ready for that, don't be greedy and selfish and hold on to that and occupy that person's time to where they could actually really find their true soulmate, or find that person that is meant for them. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste that person's time. Because that can cause a lot on your mental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, I don't want people to think that, oh, well, maybe he's just trying to reach all church folk. No, that ain't what I'm doing. I'm going through healing processes, man. You have a Bible inside your home. You have a Holy Bible inside your home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you like me, I wasn't biblically inclined to know how to read out the Bible and know how to quote scriptures and all that. I didn't know nothing about that, and guys, man, you better go get you some help. So I called somebody, and I called one of my partners. He's a pastor, and I said, man, can you help me? This is no lie, man. I asked him for a study Bible, and it took, I think it's like 8, 9, 10 months ago. Shout out to my homeboy Torrey Scott. It's been about 10 months ago, and he's so busy. He's such a good heart, and that's my brother. And I think he just simply forgot. It just slipped his mind, because he's always doing something. And he has been my mentor and has rocked with me, man. I love him to death, man. And so what I did, man, I said, hey, I'm going to get my own. I went and got my own study Bible. and he came over to my no, I went to his house, and he showed me how it breaks down, and I wasn't ashamed to do that, and I opened up to him, and I said, man, I need the help. So you don't have that. So what are you? So you said you're real spiritual. You said you're real spiritual.
So basically, what happened?
I can connect everybody.
Yeah. So
come on, tell it.
Yeah, so I never understood the Bible, and I couldn't really understand anything like that. But it became a point in my life recently, over the past several months, where I had basically hit rock bottom again. And I was like, I have got to do something with myself, with my life. I don't know what's going on. And you have to ask questions. You have to ask questions. A lot of times we're taught to not ask why we go through things. But you have to ask the higher power, God, universe, whoever you believe in, or whatever you believe in, you have to ask those questions so you can get those answers. Because I'm telling you, you will get answers. You will get answers. So it took for me to have to sit back and evaluate my life, and I learned now more than ever, you have to believe in something. You may not believe in God. You may not believe in Allah, Buddha, or whatever it is. I don't care if you believe in this pen or a little statue on your desk or something like that. Find something to believe in and have faith that you can get through it, that you're going to be okay. Talk to yourself, pray, whatever you need to do. The universe, call your spirit guide, guardian, whatever. I know it may sound crazy to some people, but I'm telling you, sometimes that's what it takes. When you feel like you're getting ready to knock on death's door and take your own life out, and you don't want to go, but you got to do something, because in my case, I can't end up like my brother. You know what I'm saying? My parents can't bury another child. There was only 2 of us. They can't go through this again.
Yeah.
They can't keep doing this. I go through this cycle every couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Every couple of years, I go through this cycle where I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I'm walking on traffic and be meaning it. That's why I don't own a gun. Yeah. My brother used to try to get me to own a gun for the longest time. I'm like, no. But now I'm okay. I'm okay enough to be able to own a gun for safety purposes and stuff like that. So I'm good. But anyways, it got to the point over the past few months where it caused me, with everything that's going on in my life, because things were happening back to back to back. Because not only at this point is my brother gone off this earth, my dad now has dementia. My mom had a stroke a month ago, and it's like she's just tired and giving up, and it's just me. So I got to be strong for everybody. So it makes sense over, since last summer, why I've been being prepped for things. Keep going through this, and then this keep happening, and then something else happening, something else happening, and all I kept telling myself was like, something is preparing me for something that's coming, and it's trying to get me stronger, trying to get me ready, So, but over the past couple months, it's really caused me to have to really sit down and find the things that aren't working for me and fix it. So at this point, it's causing me to have to go deep within. And that's one thing a lot of people don't like to do, is dig deep and go deep within and figure out what's causing certain things to happen, the patterns and this and that and blah, 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 and work on it. A lot of people don't do that. They'll jump from one thing to the other to try to distract them, and all that stuff.
Yeah. And you know what confused me? What really confused me? Why everybody else can have a community, but we can't have a community? Why is that? Like, why can we not have a community? Like, seriously, because I need to talk to you sometime. You need to talk to me. I want people to, seriously, if you're going through, let's talk about it. Don't sit in no house. Don't drive yourself to no lake. Don't be yourself. You get that thing out. You put God in your life. You get somebody to talk with you. We can relate with you. You do not understand. Tell them what happened to your brother. Please tell them what happened to your brother. Then tell them what they did at his funeral that your brother did not know. Come on, Lord. Yeah, come on, man.
My brother. Yeah, my brother was a very popular guy. I called him like the Kevin Hart of the crew. Like I compare that now. We didn't know Kevin Hart way back then, but now I compare him like the Kevin Hart of the crew. Just the funny dude,
Yeah.
the muscular dude. He worked out twice a day, real muscular, things like that. So, but what I noticed at his funeral, I did not expect people to get up and talk at his funeral. And we had the former mayor, the former mayor of New York, Rochester, New York, is Mayor Johnson. Now he went to our church, our childhood church, growing up and things like that. So when my brother passed away, I had to call him and ask him if he would like to speak at my brother's funeral because he did a letter of recommendation for my brother for college and stuff like that. That the mayor, like he's known us since even before we were born. So he spoke at my brother's funeral, and a couple of childhood friends spoke, and it was like they spoke beautifully about him, just very classy stuff, and the church was packed and things like that. And I sat there and it hit me later.
But tell them what happened. Tell them what happened to your
My brother suffered from depression.
We're gonna be rolling with this.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? So my brother suffered.
Come on with it.
My brother suffered from depression. Yeah, my brother suffered from depression, which we did not know. Like I said, he was the life of the party. He worked out. He had 3 degrees. He was, just very smart and very popular, very nice looking. Just a good job, things like that. Just the type of person that you would not expect that would be going through things. But he was struggling with like towards the end, like job. You get to a certain point, age in your life where you feel like you should probably be further up the scale in your job in corporate America and things like that. And to this day, I really don't know what the actual targets were. I know that he was depressed, and I know he was on medication, but I also know that he did suffer from mental health growing up, which I found out later, since he's passed and stuff like that. So, but it just caught up to him one day, just caught up to him. But this is the thing with my brother, he planned it. A lot of them plan it. He like it was premeditated, like it was planned. He made sure that he cleaned out his apartment the best he could. So when my parents and I came to go move his stuff, like everything was done in probably like 3 hours. Not even. Like he was organized, neat. There was no trash in the home, no nothing like that. He kept saying he was going to do it, things like that, to the girlfriend that he had at the time. But and I didn't know that at the time. But it was one of those where he had a scare. One Super Bowl Sunday, I'll never forget, February 2nd, Super Bowl Sunday. He had one scare, and then was rushed to the hospital. The police officers took his gun and things like that. And then they released him. The hospital released him, and then after that, he for a couple of days he found out where his gun was, and he tried to get to his gun, and the girlfriend was like, no, but he was determined at some point in time that he was going to do it. So unfortunately, you go to the precinct, they release things back to you. So they released the gun back to him. And probably about 2 or 3 days later, that's when he killed himself. But
gotcha.
Yeah, it was.
I don't mean to cut y'all, Serenity, but I have to take this call because right now, man, God is doing some amazing things. We're gonna finish up on this. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you want to come out tonight or if you want to, because see, the grand finale is going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we're going to have a special edition of just dialogue and conversation in a different setting, and it's going to. Please, seriously, just let me get on here. Let me get on with my guys. Raj on the other end. Facts, man. Facts. I got Raj on the other end right there. Mm-hmm. I got Raj on the other end, and that's the young man that comes from Charlotte, North Carolina, man. So I know you guys up there listening, man. He's called me. We're gonna come back on here. Yeah. So let me take this call, please. I don't mean to cut you off. Lord knows I don't, but I got to do this the right way. I got to move when God tell me to move. And
That's
so
okay.
let yeah, hold on, give me 1 second. I want to hold on. Come on, hold on. Let me get back on here somehow. I want this live. This see when God working, man, He working. Right, see, right now my guys on here, they can hear me talking to you. They hear me talking to you now. But right now I'm gonna get my partner Roger in. I want to show my brothers how God working, how God moving. Like I said, what this healing process is doing for me in my life. They hear you right now, and we live. They on my phone
Mm-hmm.
right now. Say something, Tom. Say something, Barry.
What it do? What it
What it
do?
do? My boys here, man. This is what we do on Tuesday nights. So for you young men out there, man, y'all listening, homie, look at here, man. I'm serious about this thing, man. Look at here. I'm Serenity. I'm finna get on here with my brothers. You guys, man, y'all keep praying, man. Y'all still loving y'allself, man. Reach out to me, homie. This can go live. This can be in secret. It can go by phone call. It can go by text, man. God is working, dog. And I love y'all. I love all the men. I love all the women. I'm so excited to meet you when I come to Charlotte. I'm so excited to meet Roger. But yeah, man, y'all stay tuned, like, share, tell a friend, tell a husband, tell a baby daddy, tell somebody, because man, we just gonna rock how we rock. So no, I will end with a prayer, but I'm on my guys. So I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this. But yeah, we gonna come back and I'm gonna say because I got to get with my guys. All right, I love y'all, man. God bless. I'll be back, man. Y'all stay tuned. Serenity, I'll hit you up later, okay?
Okay. All right. All right. Bye bye.